Everything I say is alleged, my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. So let's get into this interview that Carlos King did with Nene Leakes. Okay? Well, let's just get this out the way. Nene need y'all to know something, especially the ladies of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
The show, and I have never once ever been threatened by not one woman they ever bring on this show. If anything, they are threatened by my presence. I won't be backing down to any of these girls ever, not ever in life.
So now that Nene let y'all know how she feel, let me go and get on into my little commentary, okay? So Carlos King keeps bringing up this viewpoint. It seems like every chance he gets to me, okay, where the women who become successful and make more than their husband/man tend to let their man's hand go or make them feel emasculated. Like, why do he have to keep bringing that up? I'm not understanding. Nene says she felt she was making things easier for the family and not trying to make her husband feel less than. She said if she was doing it, it wasn't intentional. Carlos, I got a question. Are you under the assumption that black women are the only women that seem to get successful and let their man's hand go? Because I've never seen you ask, and if it's out there, my bad. But I don't recall you asking our counterparts about how they treat their men. Like, we are in a new stage in life, a new transition in life where, yeah, the woman is making more money. And the man is going to have to learn to adjust, okay? I am speaking on this as a woman who's been in relationships with men I've made more money than. And you can make your man feel needed, wanted, do all kind of things to stroke his ego, per se. And he will still feel a way about you making more money than him. And it breeds insecurity, entitlement, and a need for a man to one-up you. Okay, perfect case study is Martell Hope, who had the ideal marriage in his mind. But the minute Mel started making more money than him, he lost it. He didn't know what to do with himself. But I don't need to go into his story because we all follow the madness on TV, on social media, and in the YouTube streets. So in my opinion, men have to adjust just like women had to adjust to men and they shite, okay? Especially when it comes to finances. I mean, we can go on and on about this topic, but that's a whole nother video for another time, okay? So let me go on and continue with this interview with Nene Leakes. I won't be going in no particular order on how the interview went, but by the things that stuck out to me. So Nene Leakes, she speaks about Bryson having issues with drug abuse and that he needs help. Nene said her hands are tied because he's a grown man. I think she said he's 31. And he has to want to get help. She can't force him to get help. Nene lets us know that John, which was the man she dated after she divorced Greg, called to offer help in getting her son into rehab, as well as Lamar Odom had called to offer help. To be honest, I like the banter between Nene and Carlos. You can tell they have a history together. Hence them starting the Housewives together. You know, started from the bottom. Now we here with their quick weave and the bald fade, okay? Nene lets us know that she decided to do this interview because she's in a better place and feeling very happy and comfortable. She also feels like her being herself when she came to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Not when she came, when she started. Because let me correct that before I get cussed out, okay? When she started with Real Housewives of Atlanta, it gave her opportunity to let people see the real her. And it opened it up for her to be the breakout star. They talk about all the housewives, or most of them anyway. Sheree, she feels like her not putting her on that list for her party helped Nene become the breakout star. She said when Kenya came on the show, Kenya made up storylines and fake boyfriends, and that she was not the star of the show, okay? She also feels like, you know, everybody was excited to meet Kenya because she was the first black Miss America. But when she got on the show, she became Twirl. In my mind, I'm thinking Nene saying she wasn't living up to her standards of being the first black Miss America. Then she talked about Portia and her saying 265 days out the year. She also let us know that she and Candy helped save Portia's job because Portia was on the chopping block. And they basically let the producers know that they shouldn't let Portia go because she was going through a divorce. And listen, that was the best thing that could happen to Portia because the real Portia stood up, okay? Her husband was definitely holding her back, as Nene said. She spoke about Phaedra, who brought pretty much secrecy to reality TV. She didn't even want to tell people how many months she was pregnant. Child, but that's a whole nother story. And Nene just felt like, I knew her from Athens. Why she want to be on the show? I guess Nene felt like, this was her baby. She started from the bottom and she's here. And she didn't just want anybody to come on the show. But what she quickly learned that it ain't her decision. Okay. Nene said people want to say you changed. But as a person, you have to change and evolve. She learned to edit herself as she's grown, but she's still herself. We found out that the first season she only made $10,000 and $5,000 for the reunion. She said it was like that for season 1 and 2. And then the girls lawyered up and they made about $150,000 for the season 3. And she said it was season 4. That's when they started making a bag. She lets us know that they had to pay for their own stuff pretty much. Like their outfits, the parties that they had. Nene said she just didn't know about the business at the time. So that's why they got paid so little. They were just so excited to be out filming and doing something, because formerly, before this, they were housewives, real housewives. The husbands was the breadwinners and they wasn't working. So we find out that they asked Nene to hang out with Cynthia Bailey because they were bringing her to the show. And that's how they became friends. So Carlos asked Nene, will they ever become friends again? Nene said no, because Cynthia has done so much behind the scenes. To her, one of the things was trying to stop her bag, okay? Now, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I feel like it was tit for tat on both of their ends, okay? Nene would get on interviews and be like, Cynthia don't have nothing. She ain't bringing nothing to the show, and she shouldn't be there. But in Nene's mind, she was like, if somebody asks me a question and I give my opinion, that's one thing. But I wasn't trying to stop her bag. That's what she said. Go watch the interview. Nene lets us know she wants to date a man that has more money than her because it becomes you're this and you're that, which was my point in the beginning. Like dealing with men's ego, child. Anyway, whole nother video. Carlos says to her, people are saying, you said don't open your legs to marry men. How do you feel about people saying that you opened your legs to marry men? Nene said, do they know? I don't know if y'all heard that, but I heard her say that. She said he was legally married but separated. Now, I ain't going to go in on Nene on this because, I was legally married and I was dating. Not married men, but I was dating. I am divorced now, many, many years. It's just one of those things. I was separated, so I can't really speak on that, okay? Nene lets us know that she met Yanni a month after Greg passed away, but she gave him credit for taking her mind off of things. Although she did grieve, he kept her busy, kept her mind off of the grieving process. She said her next relationship would be private because this relationship with Yanni was too public and she don't want that. She also lets us know that, she don't feel like Yanni used her for fame, but he wasn't hating on it. Okay. Nene also lets us know that she will never experience love like she had with Greg. She's grown with Greg since her 20s, but hopes she gets to meet a great guy. So the rest of the interview was a whole bunch of Nene saying she was the star of the show. I mean, she did bring it and help build the franchise, in my opinion. For Nene, I just think she felt that the ladies wasn't bringing their true selves, well, some of them anyway, to the show. And, she did it better. And she also felt like some of the ladies was there just for a check. They didn't really have no plan. She felt like they all should have worked together to make sure that they had a check. Do Nene need to humble herself? Maybe a little. I mean, but who would be your biggest cheerleader other than you? So I ain't mad at her. Was it me or Carlos was making sure that we all knew that he produced the show and it was the best ratings ever? I think it was for season 6. For Real Housewives of Atlanta. And he needed to let us know that, okay? Then part 1 of the interview ended with Nene feeling like the show Real Housewives of Atlanta tried to, give her a bad reputation. And Carlos asked her, why did you feel the need to sue Bravo and NBC? So they left us on a cliff and hanger. Do you feel like Nene gonna answer honestly? I feel like she will, unless there's something legally she can't say, but I feel like she'll answer honestly. So y'all go on over there to Carlos King and check out the interview. I felt like the interview was very engaging. I felt like Nene was very transparent in how she felt.
The show, and I have never once ever been threatened by not one woman they ever bring on this show.
And there y'all have it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when my next video comes out. Come down in the comment section. Let's talk about this interview. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.